entire
And it's a
season.
dialogue puzzle.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a great, it's a great scene.
Yeah, it's something different that we try to do, having a moving character that you could jump into at any point in his loop and have a number of things that you can do with him.
And it kind of established the character and the relationship between the characters, which is so essential to the whole season. And the character, just his distracted, always on the move sort of personality.
It's like, to me, like the Doc Marty relationship, like Doc in the movies is always the frantic walking around, and Marty's always trying to catch up, and so it seemed perfect to introduce young Emmett with the same kind of mechanic.
Kitchen yelling at Arthur McFly. I'm not surprised.
And that gets to the whole thing about the season. Very early on, we realized we wanted to totally topsy-turvy most of the relationship. We wanted, a Marty who's been through time, several times now, who's kind of a little more mature, having to deal with, this young Emmett Brown who's, this gawky teenager. A Flibberty Gibbet, teenager who hasn't quite figured out what he wants to do in life and has got all these pressures to do something else with his life. Making this critical decision, where for Marty's dad, it's I got to kiss the girl. For young Emmett, it's I got to kiss science at some point.
And that's actually part of what got me to work on this. In the beginning, when I heard there was rumors that we might do a Back to the Future game, I was terrified because it's a huge part of my childhood. And it was actually when, Mike, you came by my desk one day and you were like, so what if we get to meet Emmett when he's young, and what if there's a possibility he doesn't go into science because of something you do? And I was like, oh, I'm so in.
So this peanut puzzle,
God!
It gave us, that's one of the things I blocked out. I know it gave us troubles, but I do not know what
there
those
was
troubles
shoe
were.
polish,
There was shoe polish
involved.
It was a more involved puzzle.
Yes,
at
and
one point.
we cut it down to nothing, and that was wise.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
That's why those peanuts are in the hat there.
Originally, Kid Tannen might have ended up in blackface at some point.
No, I don't think he would have ever ended up in blackface. But there was also something that you were getting, some ingredient from the diner that he hated, and then you put it. I don't know. It was a hot anyway.
And you had to smell it on Emmett's breath.
Yeah, that's right. You had to smell it on Emmett's breath.
Marmalade.
That's it.
Convoluted, to say the least.
Yes. In a good way.
In a way.
In a way.
It started off as a more classic adventure game style puzzle and turned into something a little more dynamic.
Yeah, which this was kind of par for the course for this series.
They used to call me.
Well, we've been mentioning, calling out some of our voice actors. James Arnold Taylor as young Emmett Brown is awesome.
So good.
He is awesome.
Yeah, he's perfect. I was super scared about Emmett's voice going in, and then as soon as he started workshopping it, he pretty much came in with it, and it was like, oh, that is perfect.
And we got no idea what he looks like, right?
I know what it looks like. I've seen him online.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he look like Emmett?
Not really.
He's down in Santa Barbara, so we dealt with him over the phone.
This is a puzzle that worked.
Yes. I love this puzzle.
This is a puzzle we honed down to a nice fine fettle. It's one of those situations where if you just keep talking and show people how it's going to work, it eventually comes around.
And
it's difficult in games like this to have puzzles where two characters are working together on a goal, where you are working with someone else. But we really needed a moment where Marty and Emmett were collaborating on something. So this is just one of those rare kinds of puzzles where that kind of dynamic really works.
Yeah. And it is tricky because one of the things we kept bumping our heads against all through the season is Emmett's smart. And so in any situation where, he and Marty are together, he should be able to tell you exactly what you need to do, and then you just have to do it, unless there's a reason, as in this puzzle, where he can't tell you exactly what to do.
The last train for DC leaves in just a few minutes.
It's okay for Marty to be a little dumb, but Doc really shouldn't.
Yes.
Exactly.
And we maybe very briefly considered a game where we were occasionally playing Doc, but we pretty much from the beginning knew that we were going to be Marty all the way, because he's the hero.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Marty's the guy who
From the
fixes
patent office.
his life, his parents' life, and Doc's life.
I lied to you.
And this is the scene that if you don't cry, you're not human.
You're jaded.
Very important.
I call out Nick Herman on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on another project at the time, but we pulled him over to do this, and I'm extremely glad. Yeah, it's heartbreaking with because you kind of come to really like Emmett by this point, and kind of betraying him.
Yeah.
I'll get it back to you. I promise.
Marty is behaving a bit like a
And
jerk.
Emmett,
But he's
you're gonna
17.
be a great inventor.
Is he gonna slug him?
No, much later for that. Yeah.
The cart.
The throttle at about 8.
So we had to build that cart because we couldn't figure out any way for Marty to carry that thing around.
Yeah. It's like, yeah,
Right.
we're still not entirely sure, so I've already dragged it a long way to get here. Yeah. And then because none of Emmett's inventions really work.
Yeah.
I'm still just not sure what a rocket-powered drill,
Drill is, or a jet power drill for that matter,
whichever
which is
one would you-
you know.
The rocket power drill.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's painful.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
You're too late.
Too late. The doc's not
Some
supposed
tough
to be.
ID on that wall.
Yeah.
Well, really, I mean, it didn't matter what was powering the drill. It needed to get on the bike. That was the
That
whole
was-
purpose.
yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Everything leads up to this.
Everything is up to this, which is the other big sequence.
I was so glad that we managed to keep the action
Yeah.
close to the way we designed it for this sequence.
Yeah.
At great cost.
Oh yeah.
Partially being
Of
It's so
personal
worth it.
sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely some tough sells
Yeah.
in this
the bike and the
sequence.
truck.
Truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bike. Shouldn't the? Yeah.
Danger, Doc. I've got
Yeah, you don't think about it too hard.
No.
You just
Yeah, that was the fun part. Jumping in, like when I got on and started, like, all right, cool. Let's talk to Pete, figure out the animation, and all this, and then we're like, wait, how is the bike on the truck? Wait, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know yet. Just, I don't know.
Just like that. Yes.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. We
the
definitely.
human bridge.
The one thing we wanted to definitely do in this first episode is end it with a very traditional Back to the Future Cars on Road action sequence.
and kind of
and-
frenetic things that could never physically
Happen.
happen like that.
Doc has really good balance.
Yes.
Yes.
He's a remarkably spry
Yeah, the
nonagenarian.
human bridge is like one of those ideas that's, an easy concept that is not easy in execution.
And we were
Coming up on
our
our first use of the manure gag.
yeah.
Certainly not the last.
But we only did it. We only went there a couple times. So I
Felt
think
like we did it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And
I'm so glad
know
we
I
didn't
steal a
have them
shot
in
from
there.
for a long time we thought about going all Spielberg there and avoided doing that. Yes.
Did you know that would happen?
I had a suspicion. I never.
Doc always kind of knew that thing would explode because a lot of this stuff explodes. And then it's the let's get the heck out of here before we do something
and
really
forget
wrong.
about the dog.
Forget about the dog.
For the first time, not the last time.
He's not in the pound, is he?
See, Doc remembers.
No.
Yeah.
I think we've got bigger problems right now.
And then classic Back to the Future problem number 1.
Look at that font.
Yeah. To be continued. Join us again on the second episode of Back to the Future, coming real soon.